What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. Motivated here, and I just got some things on my mind. I just had to address real quick, man. Look, I am tired of hearing women say there ain't no more good men in the world. Like, that's just straight up bullshit. Feel me? I hear so many women saying this, like, and it's usually the same types of women. One of two types. Either they used up with a bunch of kids, they ain't got much going on for themselves, and they looking for like somebody to come save them from their terrible mistakes they made in the past. Or you got the ones who do got their shit together, but they a little too stuck up and they feel as though men are beneath them and all this yada yada stuff, and they want this perfect fantasy land ass dude, and it's like the create a player concept off of Madden or something. They want the whole build a dude up type thing that you could make your own player or whatever the case may be. And look, this not all women, so let me just go by saying this, but this came out because I had a recent kind of like a debate with some chick that I know or whatever, and she was just saying why she was no good men and all this, that, and the third. And I had to kind of break it down to her about her situation, her circumstances, and like, why people treat you the way they treat you. As far as how you carry yourself, look at what you got on for yourself. What did you got to offer? And you got the nerve to be sitting up there talking about them, but you ain't like, pause, hold on. So I just wanted to break down some things, man, and just stay tuned to listen. Just listen to what I'm saying. If you could comment on this, I really don't give a fuck about what people say, because it's just the way I look at it. You know what I mean? So all right. So it's one of another things I noticed, right? Some women is like they grew up in a single mother household, which was kind of like an authoritarian household, on some it's my way or the highway type shit. Their mom raised them on, like, their mom was tough on them. They pumped their head with all that, don't rely on a man, and you don't need a man type stuff, and they pumped their head. If their father wasn't around or whatever, they constantly pumped the girl's head, saying, calling their fathers all types of names, and saying how your father wasn't and all this. He did this, he did that. Constantly throwing, blame and just throwing dirt on the dude's name or whatever the case may be, And from what I noticed is a lot of them never even heard their own father's story or whatever. They just took what their mom told them and ran with that shit. They never even got the chance to hear his side of the story. And it could be because the dude was a deadbeat or whatever. Who knows? That's a whole nother motherfucking story. But it could be that your mom's ran the dude the fuck off. I mean, you don't know. So all right, now we get that, right? They verified that fact that their mom was telling them in their heads, that the fact that their pops was not there, and again, you don't know what happened. A lot of y'all don't really know the story or whatever, because y'all don't take the time to actually get to even build a relationship with him or whatever, or he not around, maybe dead, going locked up. I don't know the fucking story about that shit. But so you got the mom telling them how the father wasn't then couple that with one of their male siblings becoming a teenager, then he getting into the street life because he ain't got no guidance in the household or whatever, he ain't got no fatherly figure in the household to kind of guide him. He getting into the street life. He get into the street life, start getting in trouble in the street life, but at the same token, the sister or the woman, you know what I mean, they start getting attracted to those type of men because they see the popularity that it bring what they sibling getting from having that old bad boy image in high school, and then when they see how things, like far as they sibling get into the streets and they mom talk down on them like they ain't shit too. And when they get cheated on by their bad boy boyfriend in high school, then it all kind of starts to breed this mindset slowly but surely, like, maybe all men not but they start to kind of lose respect for men that way. But they not completely sold on that yet, because they see some good relationships. They might see some out in their community, maybe. They might see some on TV. They get a little convinced about this whole Hollywood and Disneyland bullshit that they sell them in these movies. So they're not totally hooked on that just yet. They're not totally on the men ain't the parade or whatever you want to call it just yet. They're not completely on it just yet. They got that slim chance of hope or whatever, But they don't totally believe that, because they're still young, and they still got good guys even hitting them too. Well, these guys that's perceived to be good, and he doing his thing. He in school, he going to class, he doing all the things he need to do, whatever the case may be. But these dudes try to treat them nice. You feel me? They try to treat them nice, but they're not totally sold on them, because they feels like something about him. He ain't really my type, whatever the case may be. And another thing I notice about these chicks is, they don't even notice how much of a struggle from them coming and growing up in the hood messes up their self-esteem, to thinking that they might not even deserve a good dude. They end up making all these excuses for like not wanting to date the guy. They make all these excuses like, oh, he's too soft for me, or he not gangster enough, he work at a lame job, despite he show mad signs of having great potential. And a lot of people don't hit their earning peak in no high school or their early 20s as far as men is concerned. So, but his heart is in the right place. The good dude, his heart is in the right place. They see them signs, but they ignore all them signs. They want to go for the dude who in the streets right now, getting that money right now, so they think that's success. I'm going with that. The good dude, he a lame nigga. You feel me? He a lame. Come. He lame. I ain't rocking with him. Meanwhile, while they finding the reasons to not like the good dude, they end up being like, you know what? I'm gonna roll the dice with the bad dude. And the fact that they perceived their father not being there for them, for their mom, coupled with the fact they grew up in poverty, and everyone they knew grew up in poverty, and the attitude it made them develop from the influences that were upon you makes you feel like you're not even worthy of good things in life at all, including a good man. So you end up settling with the bad boy, saying excuses for why you stay with him, that really don't even make no motherfucking sense. Like you be saying I know he ain't no good, but he working on it, knowing that ain't true. You just trying to change the guy because you lazy to go out there and try to find you a new person, because you gotta get to know the whole new person all over again, and you gotta find out what's his flaws and what he like and what he don't like, and you don't really want to go through all that shit. So you end up looking at the bad boy like, well, damn, why can't you just change and be good to me? Why can't you just treat me right? Why can't you just do X, Y, Z for me? This, that, and the third. So you end up constantly trying to change the motherfucking, the bad boy to fit some qualities of what the good guy has. But at the same token, you want him to still remain kind of alpha. And like a turn on and turn off switch, with the alpha go from beta to alpha, or something like that. Like you're gonna get one or the other, but you want a mixture of both. You want to be alpha in the streets, but be this soft buttercup to you and all that. like it's a bag of party mix out this motherfucker. You don't know what you want. You know what I mean? So, but you're afraid of change to go take a chance on the good dude, you know? Alright, so you end up ignoring the good guy and constantly trying to show the bad boy how good of a woman you are. This is how this all go, right? Just listen to me right here. If you comment what the fuck you want to comment, I don't really care. Just listen to what I'm saying. But you end up ignoring the good guy when it all boils down to it. You end up ignoring him and constantly trying to show the bad boy how good of a woman you are to him. So what you do? You cook for him, clean for him, you give him the best sex you could possibly give him, let him hit it any kind of way, when he wanted to hit it, how he wanted to hit it, whatever. You buy him things, probably spoil him with stuff he don't really deserve. Then what end up happening? He still end up cheating on your ass. He still end up dogging your ass. You know, and then most of the time, he be with another bitch who don't even look as good as you. And don't do half the shit you do for him. And when you realize that, that make you go into a deeper depression. Coupled with the fact that you come from the hood, you come from fucked up circumstances, your father wasn't there for your mom, he left your mom and left you. So that already played in your mind already. Then when you try to bring to the light of this dude here, who was the bad boy, to show him why you were such a good person, and he still end up shitting on you, you go into it, your stock go down even more. As far as your mental, your stock goes down even more. You in a deeper depression now. And you lose even more self-esteem about yourself. So what ended up happening? Now you crying yourself to sleep, or to your friends on the phone saying all this, you know, I do all this for him and he still treat me like this. But do you leave it? No. You don't leave him. You don't leave him. No, not right now at least. You don't leave him. What you do is you still caught up with the good he put down and trying to change him to be a turn it on and off gangster. Want him to be gangster in the street, but you don't want him to be gangster towards you. You know, you got the halo on your head, so you want to get whatever you want from him, but you want him to be gangster towards everybody else. Bag of fucking party mix. Again, you don't know when you pull, you know what party mix is. When you put your fucking hand in the bag, you don't know whether you're going to pull a pretzel out that motherfucker or you're going to pull a Dorito out. It's just a bag of bullshit. You don't know what the fuck going on. No disrespect to the people that make party mix. That's just not my thing. Okay, you know what I mean? I'd like to go in the bag and know what the fuck I'm getting out of it. Alright? Okay. So you want him, again, you want him to be alpha and hardcore, but you want him to be a buttercup to you. And things do not work like that. It's just not how it works. If he's alpha, he's alpha. If he's a sigma male, he's a sigma male. If he's a beta male, he's a beta male. That's just that. But you try and you try to change him. So then what you do? Somewhere down the line, you end up taking him back and make up the breakups. Eventually, you have a baby by the dude thinking, I gave him the highest honor a woman could possibly give a man. That is his children. Then guess what? The guy still doesn't change his ways, and you get even more fucking depressed, and you lose even more fucking self-esteem. And don't let the guy be beating on you too. Oh man, that's a whole nother story. If he Ike Turner your ass out here, then this is a whole nother story. I ain't trying to get into this. Long story short, right? At some point in time, you finally do end up, you finally do, hold on. Let's pause my DVR real quick. That came back on. Shut the fuck up. I'm explaining something right now. Sorry about that. So long story short, right? You end up at some point in time, you end up finally, you do break up with the bad boy. But that only come after you done gave up 90% or more. You feel me? 90% or more of your mental well-being, your self-esteem, your youthful years when you were in your prime as far as looks. Yeah, when you was fertile with no kids and you was the right size weight. You gave the bad boy all of that shit. You gave him all of that shit. And once you finally gave all that up, sorry about that. Once you finally gave all that up to him and realized he wasn't gonna change, then what you do? The real attitude come out. That's what happened. And you tell your kids the same shit your mom told you. How their kid's father, now your kids. Now you start telling them how their father, he ain't shit. And he all these bad names. This, that, and the third. And and how he don't do shit for y'all. And he a lame. He a deadbeat. I'm gonna throw his on child support and all this. See how this cycle continues? Then what happens? Years later, after you're all fat and you sloppy, you used up, and you got all these kids by somebody else that don't want you, by the way. Then you want the man that tried to treat you right so many years ago. The good guy. Oh yeah, the good guy. Oh, remember him? Oh, you remember? You want him now to come back because you finally woke up. You finally understood what he was trying to show you that whole time. Oh, poor you, right? You finally woke up. Now you want him to come back and try to be right and treat you right like he did so many years ago. When you was young, you still had somewhat of your self-esteem outside of the bush that you grew up with, the hood and all that stuff. But you still had a chance, you know, you still had your good looks, you was still the right size weight. You couldn't give it to him then. You didn't want to take the chance on him then, but now that you're all used up and you're looking like a balloon body and all that shit, and you know, you used up and you want to give, you done pumped out kids and all this stuff, now you want to give the good guy a chance now. And it baffles you, right? For one thing, because you sitting around thinking like he was just supposed to be sitting around with roses in his fucking hands, gonna sit there and turn a stone if you didn't pursue him at something. He was just gonna sit there and wait for you with the roses in his hand, like, you know, please come back to me. Like he ain't move on with his life and he ain't had shit to do with his life. Okay, while you was out dealing with your lame dudes and you was out dealing with dudes who you knew was not about nothing and was not trying to get nothing out of life outside of a quick 6 month, 6 year, whatever fame in the street life, up and down in the street life, in and out of jail and all this stuff. You knew these dudes was not about much, but you sit there and trying to rock it out with them. You was having your fun with them. Man, that guy done moved on. He probably done got snatched up by a woman who was smart enough to recognize the potential in him that you didn't recognize, and she locked him down. Yeah, she pushed him towards his goals and his dreams to be all that he could be, and she decided to build with him so they could have a solid foundation. Or he just out doing his own thing, and he not really particularly focused on the women and no family or nothing like that. He probably got a career driven, or a CEO somewhere, something like that. And he just not off any of that. Probably got his heart broken or whatever the case may be. He ain't trying to go through all that stuff again. The thing is, you try to hit him back up or whatever, or you try to get back down with him. And then you know what happened? He give you that's the cold shoulder too. He don't even want you. It's like You probably done turned the dude cold-hearted, or somebody turned him cold-hearted, or he just, again, he snatched up and he don't want you. You know what I mean? He ain't fucking with you. It's over. So when he rejects you too, then you say, well, damn, he changed too. He not as nice as he used to be. I guess it was all fault. He was acting back then. He was playing. He wasn't this, that, and the third anyway. Then that's when officially it's on now. All men ain't shit. All these men are bad. All of them are fucked up. This, that, and third. Poor me. I'm the victim. And all this bullshit. But understand what I just laid out, and you'll see why you feel that way. And no, this is not the case for every single woman, but most women I definitely know, coming from the community I come from, definitely, you a victim. The only victim you are is your own poor ass circumstance. I mean, your poor ass choices. Some circumstances too, but it's mainly your poor choices. Because, come on, man, coming from where I come from, we came from the hood. Our parents taught us right from wrong, period. He told you not to play with fire, you're gonna play with fire, you're gonna get burned. He taught you what happened if you went out in the streets and you start clocking the dope or whatever the case may be. You might be on top for a little bit, but the money ain't real. You better get out here and get you some real assets out here that's gonna last. Every parent I knew growing up in my neighborhood, in Newark, New Jersey, in my neighborhood, said that to us. You know what I mean? So, don't play fucking stupid with me. You know, that's all I'm saying, man. Now, you can't take all those problems and baggage and fucked up head that you have from past relationships and all that stuff and try to dump them on a new person. So, my advice would be to you is to try to seek therapy for yourself. Try to get some healing for yourself first before you actually try to take all that bullshit and dump it on somebody else like they supposed to play Dr. Phil or somebody to heal your problems or solve your problems, you know, and build you up or something like that, because it's not their job to do that. It's not their job to sit there and try to build you up, then you gotta deal with your attitude. You got an attitude that won't allow them to do that, even if they wanted to do that with you, you know. Then you're gonna have this crazy set of standards for that guy too. You know why? Because it's based on all the shit that you learned from fucking with the bad boy. But the thing is, you older now. You used up. You have kids now. Your value is down in a man's eyes. Your value is much more or less than what it was all those years ago. So now you have all these crazy standards that you older, and it's like you got more mileage. It's like an old car demanding a new car's price, and that old car got 190,000 miles on it. And it's not a Honda or Toyota, one of them that's known to last for like 300,000 miles. You got all these crazy standards. You want this high asking price for something that's been used and had 4 or 5 previous owners, got into an accident, got the bumper replaced, and this, that. Nobody not doing all that for you. What's wrong with you? What are you thinking? My God. I had to break this down literally to old girl. And it made me write stuff down and just be like, yo, because there was a lot of shit to talk about. And I had to just lay it to her like, listen, you got to understand this. And I was trying to be very nice, very respectful to her, which I was. But just be brutally honest with you, too. From a man's perspective, especially coming from the ghetto and the hood, how we see things. If you was a good dude, and you got walked past or you got played out or whatever the case may be, nobody ain't gonna be off you now. And they in their 30s and they out getting money and they living their lives. And now you washed up and you got all these kids and all of a sudden now you want to take them serious? Where they do that at? You crazy as motherfucker. Like, again, you're gonna have all those crazy standards. And then when the dude ain't fitting those crazy standards, he say what I'm saying to you, oh, all men ain't shit. They all just playing games and this, that, and the third. Seek therapy, man. You know, seek therapy. Many of you women don't really even realize, to be honest with you, because old girl, she didn't even think about it like that. You know what she told me? She said, you really got some good points there. She didn't even realize how damaged her mind was from not just growing up in the hood, the circumstances we grew up to, because we get so fucked up by growing up in the hood that we think the things that we see in the hood is normal until you get out the hood and you start realizing, man, these guys don't gotta look over their shoulder. Wow, they could have a nice car in their neighborhood and they ain't gotta worry about nobody carjacking them. I've been in some neighborhoods that was so peaceful and suburban that they left their doors unlocked and they slept very good at night. The only thing they was worried about in their neighborhood was a bear rolling up in their backyard or something like that, because they had open space by the woods in their backyard, peaceful, nice, enjoy the pond and all this good stuff. We grew up in the hood, you gotta go through 50,000 people just to get to your building, to the front door of your building, that is. Your hallways smell like piss. I mean, the poverty, you see crack valves and stuff all over your floor and stuff in your hallway. Yeah, people OD nodding on the fucking steps. You trying to get up the steps to get to your apartment. And you start thinking this is normal. The gangs is normal. You start thinking the guns is normal. The drug, all this stuff that comes with cops. Man, I swear to God, we grew up in the hood. The cops used to roll up the one way on us to the point we just got off the porch and we just walked to the hood of the car. We knew we was about to get record checked. It wasn't normal to us. So just another day in the hood till I got out. And I realized, yo, that shit ain't normal. It's not normal. Seek fucking therapy. Seriously, seek fucking therapy. It's a lot of y'all women be y'all crazy in y'all minds and y'all don't seem to realize. Seek fucking therapy. Not trying to be funny or nothing, but please do. Understand what I'm telling you. If you are a person out there, you understand what I'm saying, leave what you want to leave on this comment. I really don't care what you say. It's just my opinion and from things that I've seen growing up. It's the way I look at it. And it's like, yo, gotta tighten up, man. Because a lot of the things that you've done for your own lives, your mistakes and things you made, is the reason why you're so bitter and you angry at men. Feeling like, you know, especially black men, with the anger that black women have towards us. And a lot of that is because of your own set of circumstances. And here's another thing that I noticed, I'm not even gonna lie to you. As a good black man myself, sometimes you get this kind of seemingly hate from other that's not so good black women. And it's like the ones who hell-bent on thinking every black man's a gangbanger. He's a drug dealer. He's this. He all the negative stuff that they show in Hollywood and all that stuff. The movies don't show you no black kids going to college like that. They show you black kids growing up trying to sell dope like Power in the movie and all these TV shows and all that stuff. They show that is us. The depiction of us being just straight animals in the neighborhood, and that's why they lock you up. What they do, they treat you like animals, they feed you like an animal, they lock you in a cage like an animal. Yeah. You know, so just get that through your head, man. As I see that from certain black women, it's like they get mad at you just for being a good black man because the mere fact that you don't fit this prototypical stereotype that lives in their mind that all black men is gangbangers. He drug dealer, he this, he that. All the negative stuff that come with it. Y'all got so much negative to say, so much hate and anger, and it's based off of what your father probably did, the neighborhood you grew up in, and the choices you chose as far as men to date that led you to feeling like, man, they all like this, and they are not. And you know they are not. So, with all that being said, I ain't even mean to make this video this long, but again, there was a lot of to say, and a lot of I had to get off my mind. I might spin around do another video about men too, saying there's no good women in the world, which that ain't true neither, you know. It might seem like we all needles in the haystacks as far as good people in the world nowadays. There's a lot of narcissism out here from both men and women, a lot of selfishness, and look, I'm just gonna roll people over to get to my money, but there are still some good people in the world out here. Feel me? Like all that being said, I'm fucking thirsty. I gotta get me something to drink. All this talking, man. I'm out, man. It's your boy, Mr. Motivated here. I'll catch y'all on the next episode. Comment on this. I'd like to hear what y'all got to say about this. Share this video. Subscribe to the channel. I'm out. Catch y'all later.